What's up everybody, it's nice to see you again in this video. So now I'm going to be showing you how hackers can hook your browser. But before we start, you know the drill. This video is strictly made for education purposes only, and all the testing shown in this video is performed in a controlled environment. Simply, the machines that I'm using are locally my personal machines. I do have permissions to go on and test them. So here hackers can send you a link which you can go on and open up, maybe on your laptop or your phone, and they can get access to your browser. This is where they can send you to maybe different pages whereby they can go on and extract your credentials, that is the username and also the password. So here we are going to be using a browser exploitation of framework tool, and that is called Beef. So Beef is kinda a bit old, but in case you do not have this, you can just go on and install it in your Kali Linux. Since it is old, I don't expect that it is being upgraded to the latest techniques, though it can still get the work done. So when you go on and open up your terminal and you don't have this program in your Kali Linux, all you have to do is to just say sudo apt install, then you are going to provide our Beef. So it is just Beef dash xss, just like that. So if I press enter, you can just go on and provide your password to your user. I already installed this program on my Kali Linux. All we have to do is to go on and test it. So when you try to see, this is the version that we do have, and I see here a couple of files that I need to remove. But if we move back up, this is the version of the Beef that is installed on my machine. But when you go on and you check on your GitHub, you'll see 0.6.0, something like that. But this is the version that you go on and install when you go on and you install your Beef from the repository. Now when your Beef is done, you need to go on and start up this program. To start up your Beef, all you have to do is to type beef-xss in your terminal. But you must make sure that you execute this as a root user. That means you have to provide sudo in front. So if we press enter, they may ask you for a password, and if they do, you are going to provide a password for your user. Now once it is done, you see that here they provide us with a link whereby we are going to go on and access this to get our UI. And they go on and provide us with our hook, which we can go on and inject in our website, that if one accesses that website, we get access to his or her browser. Then again, here we have an example whereby you see here an IP or the loopback address has been pressed here, which means that this can be deployed on a VPS in case a attacker wants to use this on a large scale. But in this tutorial for us, we are using it in our local environment, but again we can use our IP in case we want to put it to the next level. So all I have to do is to go on and type this URL to our browser and we access our UI. So when we try to see here, I see Chrome is being opened up. I'm going to just go on and close that. I want to use Chromium. So all I have to do is to highlight this, and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift C on my keyboard, then come back here to my browser and I'm going to paste that with my Ctrl A, Ctrl V, then we press enter. So once we execute this, they'll ask us for a password. Now if it is your first time installing Beef, they'll go on and tell you to set a new password to your program. The username is Beef and also the password is Beef, but you can go on and set your password once you are prompted to first set in the password. This is the first stage that I do, but I already installed this on my machine, that's why you don't see that step. So I'm going to go on and say Beef, and again I'm going to type Beef. In case you don't know the password, it is Beef. But in my scenario, I changed the password to be password. What a strong one. So I'm going to go on and click login. So once we are authenticated, I'm going to remove this. So I've typed in a correct password. Once we are authenticated, we are going to be brought to our dashboard. Now, when you try to see, these are some of the machines that I worked on previously before I recorded this video. In your scenario, you will only have these offline browsers and also online browsers without these digits. Now, since we have our hook that we can go on and inject in our website, all you have to do is to copy this script and we go to our website. So I can go on and copy this from my terminal. Then we need to go on and have a website which we can inject this hook in it. So in case you are somebody who just unnecessarily opens up links you just come across, or somebody sends you a link and you just open it up, you may find yourself a victim to this kind of attack. So I'm going to go on and open up another tab. So if I need to move to my location where my temp website is, I'm going to go on and open up my file explorer. You see that I have this index.html and also a CSS. So all I need to do is to move to this path and try to open this HTML site, then inject my JavaScript line in this HTML. So all I have to do is to move to my web, then let me press enter. If we list here, you see that we have our index.html. Now you can use your favorite text editor. I'm going to just go on and use Micro, then provide that, press enter. So once my page is opened up, we can see our source code. But since we are working with our JS, let's first come back here. You see that we start with these script tags, which means that you can go on and inject this in the header element. So if we come back to our HTML in our micro, and when you try to see here, let's move to the head. When you try to see here inside the head elements, this is where I pressed my script tag. So all you have to do is to go on and change your IP address to the IP address of your local machine. And here, when you try to see, we have our loopback address, which is 127.0.0.1. We have our port that is 3000 and our file that is hook.js. And also I added in another one with the IP address to this machine. Let's give an example that this IP address is the IP address of the VPS where you hosted this. Now attackers can go on and perform their port forwarding, whereby if this is hosted locally on our machine, it is going to be forwarded through a certain software. I can give an example like Ngrok, whereby we can be provided with a public IP address and this can be accessed over the internet. Now if you do have a VPS, or if you're going to use port forwarding, you would do something like this, whereby you can be provided with the IP address and this can be got over the internet. But for us, we are working with the local setup. So if we come back this side, you will see that your command has to be something like this, whereby you have your /IP and the port. And again, we do have our loopback address, whereby if we come back this side, again, you saw our IP, which is to mimic our VPS. Now, after injecting your script in the website, this is where you can go on and host this and send a link to the victim. Now I'm going to just press Ctrl Q to exit outside of this. I need to go on and set up a web server so that this website that I do have here can be accessed over the internet. Now I can do this by setting a Python server. All you have to do is to just say Python -m and we provide our http.server and provided a port where you want your server to be listening or running to. So I'm going to provide 8000. If I press enter, you see that our server has been started on port 8000. Now when I go on and access this in my browser, or you can go on and forward this via your Ngrok to your victim's machine. Now once the victim opens up this link, the attacker will go on and have access, or will be hooking up the browser. This is kinda easy, whereby it is again easy to protect yourself from this kind of attack, because it isn't bad or it isn't good to just unnecessarily tap on the links that you always find over the internet or somebody just sends to you. Make sure you know the legit source or you trust the source where you received your content from. So I can just go on and open up my browser. Since I'm using the same browser and we are in our Kali Linux, I can just go on and type my loopback address, that is 127.0.0.0.1, and I'm going to provide my port 8000. This is where our web server is. So if I press enter, our web page is going to be loaded. So I generated this sample web page from our ChatGPT. When you try to look at it, you might have come across on a page that looks similar to this when you go on and design a sample with your AI. So if you try to see how our page is loaded, but if we come back here to our beef, I want you to look here, we have online browsers. Now when you try to see here, we do have our Chrome. They give us an icon for Linux. Simply they are showing us our browser and also the operating system. Now after getting access to the browser, attackers can go on and perform different tools or ads so that they can gain more information about you, or perhaps take pictures from your camera. So if we scroll down just a little bit, we are here on get started. You see that we have some images here. We have a green, we have an orange, we have a white and a red. Now here they can go on and tell you what each color means. You can just go on and read through that. But to save time, you see here with the white, they say that this module is yet to be verified against the target. And we also have the green, which they say that the module works against the target and should be visible to the users, which means green is okay. But you never know, we can even try on other colors whereby we can be successful. So in case we want to go to where we can inject in our commands, by the way, you can even come here to the logs. You see all the information that is present. If we come here to zombies, this is what we have. We have auto runs. This is what we have. So I'm going to come this side and I'm going to tap on my machine, whereby now we no longer have access. I can just come back here and refresh since it was pressed in the offline ones. So I can just refresh that so that we can get back our machine in the online browsers. Then we can start to inject. Now after refreshing the site, you see that it takes a couple of seconds so that we receive our access to the browser. So make sure you tap on that and come here to commands. So if you tap on your commands, this is where we can have a bunch of scripts that can be executed to your browser so that the attacker can steal your information. Now, first of all, if we come here to browsers, I'm going to click on this arrow, and if we scroll down, you see we have a couple of things that we can use. And here we have hooked domain. I can also go on and click to this. You see a couple of scripts that we can use. Now they say that green are already tested, and we also have the red. They're not sure that they're working, but we can go on and test that. And I can just move this closer and expand it so that we can read more about this. Now when you try to see how we have a redirect browser to Rickroll, we have redirect browser to standard, and also redirect our browser to an iframe. Perhaps we can go on and try this. So I'm going to go on and tap on redirect browser standard, and if we come here, they provide us to a link where we want to redirect our browser to. Now imagine if the attacker uses this kind of technique, they can go on and redirect you to the site or a phishing site. If you go on and you insert in your credentials, the attacker will be able to see your username and password. So I can just go on and remove this URL. I'm going to provide the link to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com then /@gr33 and 37. So the moment I click execute, you are going to see that this page is going to be redirected to our YouTube. Before I tap on that, this is how our page looks like. So coming back here to our beef, I've provided a link whereby I want to redirect my victim to. I can just go on and click execute. So once I tap on that, you see down here they say that it is ready, and also if we tap here, they say that it is being redirected. Now if we come back this side, you see that our page which we accessed earlier has been redirected to my YouTube channel. My internet is a bit slow, but you see the action is taking place. So if we come back this side, we can go on and perform others, whereby the attacker can go on and pass through all of these, perhaps even getting our cache. So you try to see here, we can see get stored credentials. I'm not sure whether we do have passwords here, but I can go on and tap on this and we have this. So I can go on and execute, and they say here command is sent and they say it is ready. So if we tap on this and we do have any credentials, that will be loaded here, because you see here we do have command results. I don't see anything that is taking place. Perhaps we can go on and try on another content. Now again here you see that our machine has been pressed to the offline since we redirected our site to my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel is Greenet. Once again, if you are new to the channel and you are interested to see more content like this, don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video and also subscribe to my channel. You won't be disappointed. You will receive a ton of videos which you like, and in case you do have any suggestion, you can leave a message in the comment section. So I'm going to just go back so that we receive back our browser in the active browsers here, or online browsers. Now again, we can look for something fancy that we can use. We see a web browser hook and we also see others. Now you can go on, even try, let's first come here to persistency. We see that we do have different pop-ups. We have networks. We can go on and we do a ping sweep in case you want to do a ping sweep, so that you can understand how many devices are connected to the same network where your victim is connected to. And we also do have a port scanner. So I'm going to just tap on this port scanner. I'm not going to change anything here. Perhaps I'm going to leave everything by the default, though that's not my IP address, and I'm going to do execute. Once you tap on execute this side, you see that they say that it is ready. I can just tap on this here. They will bring back a bunch of ports that was scanned, and perhaps you'll be able to see the active ports. Now once again, when you try to see it, my machine is offline. All I have to do is to come back this side, and I'm going to go on and access that link again, which is 127.0.0.1 and our 8000. So once that loads, you will see that we shall have our online browsers here, and this command will be able to work successfully. Now you see that here we do have our port scan has been activated, and we see a bunch of ports that was scanned, because now we have access to our browser here, and it is back here in our online browsers. Now I'll stop here, and I will be creating more videos. In case you are interested in more hacking content, don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video. It is a proper way of supporting me and my channel. And you can also subscribe to the channel in case you are new, and you can feel free to share this to your friends. Have a great day. Peace.